Welcome to English Flow Daily. I'm David, and today I'll share a warm moment for your listening. Let this be your peaceful English moment. Let's start today's small story. Today I have a story for you. A simple story. A warm story. It's about kindness. Small kindness. The kind that can change your whole day. This story is easy to follow. The words are simple. Is less than #0. 6# is greater than. The sentences are short. Just relax. Listen. And let the story come to you. You don't need to repeat today. You don't need to practice. Today is just for listening. Today is for feeling. Imagine a city. A big, busy city. With tall buildings and crowded streets. People walk fast. Cars move slowly. Everyone seems tired. Everyone seems busy. Is less than shown. 0# is greater than. Now imagine a young woman. Her name is Mia. Mia is 25 years old. She works in an office. Every day she wakes up early. Every day she works hard. Every night she comes home tired. This is a story about one evening. One cold evening. When something small happened. Something beautiful. Are you ready? Let's begin. It was a Friday evening. Is less than #0. 8# is greater than. The sky was gray. The air was cold. Winter was coming. Mia walked out of her office building. She felt tired. Very tired. Her shoulders were heavy. Her feet were sore. It had been a long day. Actually, it had been a long week. A long month. Maybe even a long year. Mia worked hard every day. She answered emails. She attended meetings. Is less than #0. 6# is greater than. She solved problems. She helped her team. But today nobody helped her. Her boss was angry this morning. He said her report was not good enough. Mia stayed late to fix it. She skipped lunch. She drank 3 cups of coffee. But she still felt empty inside. Now the workday was over. But Mia did not feel happy. She felt alone. She felt invisible. Is less than #0. 8# is greater than. Like nobody in the world could see her. She walked slowly to the bus stop. The wind blew against her face. She pulled her coat tighter, but the cold still found her. Picture this. A young woman standing alone. Under a small bus shelter. The streetlights just turning on. The city moving around her. But she feels completely still. Mia looked at her phone. No new messages. No missed calls. Nobody was waiting for her at home. She lived alone in a small apartment. It was quiet there. Too quiet. She thought about her life. She thought about her job. She thought about the future. And she felt a little sad. Not a big sadness. Just a small, heavy feeling in her chest. Have you ever felt like this? Tired but not sleepy. Is less than #0. 6# is greater than. Busy but not fulfilled. Surrounded by people but still alone. Mia looked up at the sky. The clouds were dark. Maybe it would rain soon? She hoped the bus would come quickly. Then she heard footsteps. Someone was walking toward the bus stop. She didn't look up. She didn't want to talk to anyone. She just wanted to go home. But this moment, this small moment, is less than #0. 6# is greater than was. About to change everything. An old man sat down next to Mia. She glanced at him quickly. Then she looked away. He was maybe 70 years old. His hair was white. His face was full of wrinkles. But his eyes were kind. Very kind. He wore an old brown coat and a blue scarf around his neck. In his hands, he carried a small paper bag. Mia stayed quiet. Is less than #0. 6# is greater than. She didn't want to talk. She just wanted to wait for her bus. Alone. But the old man smiled at her. A gentle smile. A warm smile. The kind of smile that feels like sunshine. He said, "Cold evening, isn't it?" His voice was soft. Calm. Like a grandfather telling a bedtime story. Mia nodded. "Yes," she said quietly. "Very cold. Is less than #0. 8# is greater than." She expected that to be the end. Just small talk. Nothing more. But the old man reached into his paper bag. He pulled out 2 paper cups. They were steaming. Hot drinks from the cafe nearby. "I always buy 2, he said. "1 for me. 1 for someone who might need it." He held out 1 cup to Mia. "Please," he said. "Take it. It will warm you up." Is less than #0. 0# is greater than. Mia was surprised. She didn't know this man. He didn't know her. Why would he give her something? She hesitated. I can't," she said. "You don't have to do that." The old man smiled again. "I know I don't have to," he said. "But I want to. That's what makes it special." Mia looked at the cup. She looked at his kind eyes. Is less than #0. 6# is greater than. And slowly she reached out her hand. "Thank you," she whispered. Her voice was small, almost like a child's voice. She wrapped her cold fingers around the warm cup. The heat spread through her hands, up her arms, into her chest. It was hot chocolate. Sweet and rich. She took a small sip, and for the first time that day she smiled. The old man nodded. Is less than #0. 8# is greater than. He seemed happy. Not because he did something big, but because he did something small, something real. They sat together in silence. 2 strangers at a bus stop. One young, one old. But in that moment, they were connected. Listen. Sometimes kindness doesn't need words. Sometimes it's just a warm cup, a gentle smile, a moment of being seen. The wind still blew. The city was still loud. But Mia didn't feel so cold anymore. She didn't feel so alone. A few minutes passed. The old man finished his drink. He stood up slowly. "My bus is coming," he said. He pointed at the bus down the street. "Take care of yourself, young lady." Mia looked up at him. "Wait," she said. "I don't even know your name." The old man smiled. Is less than hash 0, 8 hash is greater than. Names are not important, he said. What matters is how we make each other feel. He gave her one last nod. Then he walked to his bus. And just like that, he was gone. Mia sat alone again. But something was different now. She didn't feel empty anymore. She felt full. Full of something warm. She held the cup with both hands. There was still a little hot chocolate left. Is less than hash 0. 8 hash is greater than. She drank it slowly, savoring every drop. She thought about the old man. A stranger. Someone she would probably never see again. But he gave her something precious. Not just a drink, but a feeling. A reminder that kindness still exists in this world. Mia looked around. The city looked the same. The buildings were still tall. The streets were still crowded. Is less than hash 0. 8 hash is greater than, but now everything felt different. She noticed a mother holding her child's hand. She noticed two friends laughing together. She noticed a man giving directions to a tourist. Small moments of kindness. Everywhere. She had never noticed them before. She was always too busy, too tired, too focused on her own problems. But now her eyes were open. Her heart was open. Is less than hashon. 0 hash is greater than. Her bus arrived. She stood up and got on. She found a seat by the window. And she looked out at the city lights. The sky was dark now. But Mia didn't feel dark inside. She felt light, hopeful, alive. She made a quiet promise to herself. Tomorrow she would be kind to someone. A stranger. A colleague. Anyone. She would buy 2 cups of coffee. Is less than hash 0. 8 hash is greater than 1 for herself. 1 for someone who might need it. Because now she understood. Kindness is like a circle. It goes around and comes back. When you give it, you receive it too. The bus moved through the city. Mia smiled softly. For the first time in a long time, she felt at peace. Now the story pauses. And I want to talk with you. Just for a moment. Is less than hashon. 0 hash is greater than. This story was about Mia. But maybe it's also about you. Maybe it's about all of us. Let me ask you some gentle questions. You don't need to answer out loud. Just think. Feel. Let your heart respond. Here is the first question. Have you ever felt tired like Mia? Tired from work? Tired from life? Tired in your heart? Think about that moment. Is less than hashon. 0 hash is greater than. Here is the second question. Has a stranger ever been kind to you? Maybe someone smiled at you. Maybe someone helped you carry something. Maybe someone said a nice word. Do you remember how it felt? Here is the third question. When was the last time you were kind to a stranger? A small act. Nothing big. Just something from your heart. Can you remember is less than hashon? 0 hash is greater than doc. Here is the fourth question. What is one small thing you could do tomorrow? To make someone's day a little brighter? a smile, a thank you, a moment of patience. What could you give? Here is the last question. How do you feel right now? After listening to Mia's story, do you feel a little warmer? A little softer? A little more connected to the world? Is less than shown. Zero hash is greater than. There are no right or wrong answers. These questions are just for you, to help you think, to help you feel, to help you grow. Because that's what stories do. They open our hearts. They show us new ways to see. And sometimes they remind us who we want to be. Take a breath now. Let the story settle inside you. And when you're ready, we'll finish together. Is less than has shown. Zero hash is greater than. And so the story ends. A simple story about a tired young woman and a kind old man and a cup of hot chocolate on a cold evening. But the message is not simple. The message is deep and true. Kindness is powerful. Not the big kind. Not the kind that costs a lot of money. But the small kind. The quiet kind. The kind that comes from the heart is less than has shown. Zero hash is greater than a smile can change someone's day. A warm word can heal a broken heart. A small gift can remind someone that they matter. You don't need to be rich to be kind. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to notice, to see the people around you, to care. Maybe tomorrow you will meet someone like Mia. Someone tired. Someone lonely is less than #0. 6 hash is greater than someone who needs a small moment of kindness. Will you be like the old man? Will you offer what you have? Even if it's just a smile. I believe you will. Because you listened to this story. Because you felt something. And that means your heart is open. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for listening with your whole heart. I hope this story stays with you. Today, tomorrow, and beyond. I am David. And this is English Flow Daily. Take care of yourself. And take care of others. See you next time.